My name is Diana. I am 32 years old. I live in a small town near the sea. I work in a flower shop, and I like quiet mornings, warm tea, and clean plans. For 7 years, I was married to a man named Victor. He was 34. He worked in sales and often drove to other towns. People said we were a good couple. He smiled in public, held my hand, and called me his lucky star. I believed him because I wanted to believe him. In the first years, our life felt safe. We cooked dinner together, watched simple movies, and talked about small dreams. We saved money little by little. We wanted a bigger kitchen, maybe a child one day, maybe a small trip to another country. I trusted Victor completely. I never checked his phone. I never asked for proof. I thought love should not feel like a test. Every morning, I woke up early and opened the shop. The smell of flowers made me calm. Victor liked his coffee strong with no sugar. I always made his cup first. He kissed my forehead and said, "See you tonight?" And for a long time, he did come home at night. Then it started changing in small ways. He came home later. He stopped calling during the day. When I sent a message, he answered with one short word. Busy. Later. Okay. At first, I told myself it was normal. Work can be hard. Life can be stressful. I did not want to be the wife who complains. I tried to be soft. I tried to be patient. But the house began to feel cold, even when the lights were on. Victor started taking his phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. When I walked into the room, he turned the screen down. When I asked simple questions, he became annoyed. One evening I said, "Do you want dinner?" He looked at the food like it was a problem and said, "I already ate." I felt my stomach drop. He never ate without telling me. Another day, he came home and went straight to the shower without looking at me. He used to hug me first. He used to ask about my day. Now he acted like I was part of the furniture. I tried to talk. I said, "Victor, are we okay?" He smiled too fast and said, "Of course, Diana. Stop overthinking." But my body knew something before my mind accepted it. My sleep became light. At night, I woke up and listened to his breathing. Sometimes he was not in bed. I would walk to the living room and see him sitting in the dark with his phone. When I asked, he said, "I couldn't sleep." His voice was calm, but his eyes were not. One Sunday, we visited his mother. She looked at me with strange pity, like she wanted to say something but could not. On the way home, Victor drove in silence. I stared out of the window and felt like a passenger in my own life. The moment I found the truth was not dramatic. It was quiet. It was an ordinary evening. Victor went to shower and left his phone on the kitchen table. I was cleaning dishes. The screen lit up. A message appeared. "I miss you. I hate sleeping alone." My hands froze. I did not want to touch the phone, but my fingers moved by themselves. The name was Sophia. I did not know any Sophia. My heart beat very fast. I opened the messages. There were weeks of chat. Hearts, private jokes, photos, her face, his words. "You are my peace. I wish I met you earlier." Tonight was perfect. I felt sick. I did not cry. I felt empty, like someone took the air from the room. When Victor came out, he saw me holding the phone. His face changed. He did not shout. He did not act angry. He looked scared, like a child caught stealing. "Diana, please," he said, "let me explain." I asked one simple question. "How long?" He swallowed and said, "It's not what you think." I stared at him and said, "Answer me." He looked down. "A few months." My legs felt weak, but I stayed standing. I asked, Do you love her? He did not answer. He just stared at the floor. That silence was louder than any confession. I put the phone on the table very slowly. So you made me a stranger in my own house, I said. He tried to touch my hand. I pulled back. He said, "It was a mistake. I was lonely. You were always tired." Those words made me angry. "I was tired because I worked," I said. "I built this home with you. I waited for you. I loved you." He said, "I love you too." I laughed once, a small, bitter sound. "If you loved me, you would not hide another woman in your life," I said. That night I packed a bag. Victor followed me, talking fast, promising everything. "I will end it. I will block her. We can go to therapy. Please don't leave." I looked at him and realized he was not asking because he respected me. He was asking because he was afraid to lose comfort. I walked out and went to my sister's apartment. In her hallway, I finally cried. I cried until my chest hurt. The next morning, Victor called many times. I did not answer. He sent messages. "I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Come home." I could not read them without shaking. In the flower shop, I tried to work like normal, but my hands were slow. I wrapped bouquets and felt like my life was wrapped. Bouquets and felt like my life was wrapped too tight, with no air. A week later, Victor came to the shop. He stood near the door like he did not belong there. "Can we talk?" he asked. I said, "Talk about what? The lies?" He said he ended it. He said he wanted to fix our marriage. I asked, "Did you end it because you love me or because you got caught?" He had no good answer. He only said, "Please." I told him, "I need truth, not begging." He left with a sad face, but I did not feel sorry. I felt tired. 2 days later, something happened that made everything clearer. A young woman came into my flower shop. She wore a light coat and had neat hair. She looked nervous but excited. She said, "Hi, I need red roses, 12, the best you have." I looked up and recognized her from the photos. Sophia. My stomach turned, but my voice stayed calm. "For a special person?" I asked. She smiled. "Yes, for the man I love." I nodded and started making the bouquet. My hands did not shake now. I felt strangely calm, like the worst part already happened. When I gave her the roses, I said softly, "Is his name Victor?" Her smile disappeared. How do you know?" she whispered. I looked into her eyes and said, "Because he is my husband." The shop became silent. Sophia's face turned pale. "No," she said. "He told me he was separated. He told me you were gone." I believed she did not know. Victor lied to both of us. Sophia started to cry quietly. "I didn't want this," she said. I felt something unexpected inside me. Not hate for her, just sadness. "Neither did I answered. Sophia asked, "What will you do?" I said, "I will leave. I will not fight for a man who plays with people." She nodded and wiped her tears. She placed the bouquet on the counter like it suddenly felt dirty. "I'm sorry," she said again. Then she left. That evening, Victor called me. I answered for the first time. My voice was steady. "Sophia came to my shop today," I said. Silence. Then he said, "Diana, I can explain." I said, "No. You had months to explain. Now you only have consequences." He started crying on the phone. He said he was lost. He said he did not know why he did it. He said he loved me. I listened, but my heart did not move. I told him we would divorce. He begged. I said, "I forgive you as a person, but I do not trust you as my husband." Forgiveness is not the same as staying. The next weeks were practical and cold. Papers, meetings, division of things. Our house was in both names, so we sold it. Seeing strangers walk through our home was painful, but also freeing. I kept my flower shop. Victor moved to another city. Sometimes he sent one last message. I miss you. I never answered. Months passed. My life slowly became mine again. I rented a small apartment near the sea. I painted one wall a soft yellow because I wanted light. I bought a small table and ate dinner there alone. At first, silence felt like punishment. Then it started feeling like peace. I began walking in the mornings. I watched waves hit the rocks. I learned to breathe without fear. One day, my sister asked, "Do you still love him?" I thought carefully. "I love the person I believed he was," I said, "but I do not love the liar he became." That was the truth. Betrayal did not only break my marriage, it changed how I see love. Now I know love is not sweet words. Love is simple actions every day. Love is honesty when it is hard. Love is choosing the same person even when no one is watching. Victor did not choose me. He chose excitement and secret attention. But I chose myself. I chose respect. I chose a life where I do not need to check a phone to feel safe. I am still healing. Some days I feel strong. Some days I feel sad. But I do not feel trapped anymore. And that is a new kind of happiness. If you are listening and you feel confused in your relationship, listen to your body. When love is real, you feel calm. When lies grow, your heart feels heavy. Do not ignore that. You deserve truth. You deserve peace. My story is not about revenge. It is about waking up. I lost the marriage I thought I had, but I found the woman I forgot. And she is not weak. She is learning to live again, one honest morning at a time.